Yes.
What?
Oh, there's the little live button.
Gigolo?
Chelsea.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
No, so before.
I'm sorry, I missed it. I was like super thirsty before we almost went live. Before I said,
Oh wait, are we live
through
actually right now?
305. It says live in the corner, so I'm assuming so.
Where's Ray?
I don't know. She did. I don't think she know we turned on.
Y'all, cause y'all false alarmed us.
Who false alarmed you?
Well, technically, it happened
You
twice.
and Mrs. 305.
Y'all, if that's Miami, y'all like Miami. Y'all want to go back? I don't think I
That
want
what Miami zip code is? 305?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that from like Pretty Ricky songs. Okay.
Which one is it?
Nah, I was gonna say Pitbull, so I don't know what was better, but I was definitely gonna say Pitbull.
I need to know what's the Pitbull song and what's the Pretty Ricky song.
First of all, name what's the name of a Pitbull song? You know, you just be in the bar and he be like, "Ooh."
Who listens to Pitbull? I don't listen to him.
Nobody listens to Pitbull.
Going out, you know they play that. They run a Pitbull.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't go
that's
outside.
all you hear.
You sing a piece. Oh, that's Yin Yang Twins.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
No, the Yin Yang Twins are Atlanta.
No, we
Right?
not
No, I
talking
think
about
that was.
more shows.
Yeah, this
Which
is
one
not Atlanta.
I missed it. Okay. This
It was
is
off that. We
typical.
waiting for Ray to come back, I guess.
I'm here.
Oh wow, that is ghetto.
Well, everybody, this is us. We are the squad.
Wow.
Y'all wanted real life, raw, unfiltered, doop, whatever doop is, and here it is. And I got my wine this
the same
time.
people that be like, y'all wanted my skin routine.
Y'all live?
Look at that Michael Jackson curl in there.
Wait.
I thought it was cute. Don't
I
let her
legit thought
play
that
with
was
that
intentional.
curl. Put your
I
curl
thought it was
back.
intentional.
Stop playing with her. That was a good curl.
I didn't know y'all went down already. Okay, here we go. Hey, y'all.
It's too late. They hurt you like
She
I'm
already
right
did.
here.
And I actually already did the hey y'all, so good stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
let
Chelsea
me
already
start
did
this
the
over.
hey y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we supposed to go live on our phone? Okay. So
So
yeah.
are you gonna share for your pages? How y'all doing today?
I'm having a little bit of case of the Mondays, but it's all straight. God
What
is
is case of
amazing.
Monday? I do not like when people be like, I don't like Mondays.
Dang girl, shade.
I didn't say that. I said I'm having a case of them.
What is the case of the Mondays?
Mm-hmm.
I said, what is it?
Yeah, it's the case of the Mondays.
I'm so.
What's the little kid say? If you know, you know.
If you know.
Why?
Yeah, I couldn't do all that. But
K.
If you know, you know. If
Why
I be
K?
aging myself in my therapy sessions, y'all. I be trying to be like, what the little
You be
kids
overaging
say.
yourself in life. Chelsea, you think you way older than you are.
I'm a senior citizen at home.
It's
In
giving
your
47.
mind. In your mind.
47.
47.
Literally in her mind.
So we said, did y'all share it to your pages already? Because we've been kikiing for 3 minutes and 31 seconds.
No, I'm still trying to find it.
She 52.
Honestly, like social media is just not my friend.
It doesn't say that they're live. Oh, here we go.
What's wild is like
my laptop died.
Find the page.
Okay. Share.
Yeah, next time we got to do it the other way, but we won't get into that on the call.
Oh, it has the words on there and everything.
Dang, you lit.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, guys. What's the word?
Well,
The
happy
way
Monday.
it is, Kenitra had all these people in an uproar on social medias.
Yes, come
While
through.
she talking about us in the social medias.
Kenidra, first of all, my name is Kay. I don't know who Kenidra is.
Sure, some of our followers.
But
One of y'all called me Neek. I don't know who Neek is.
I don't have an alias.
I do.
What, Ray? Bree.
I call her Neek. I call her Neek.
I don't know who Neek
I'm
is.
probably not gonna call you Lynn.
Yeah, that's weird. So this is what we were talking about yesterday. What Lynn is referring to is that's the dog, y'all. So she's referring to the question: should Black women lower their standards to find a life partner? Should Black women lower their standards to find a life partner? It was a lot of mixed reviews, but mostly everyone said no. Even the men were saying no. Even the white girls said no. But of course, there were like a lot of different like pieces to that though. Like it was like no, but A, B, and C. So I guess what y'all think? I don't know. I guess it depends on what the standard is. Also it came up like conversation about what's standards, what is a compromise, what is a what's settling. And by definition, because you know we looked up the definition, they all mean the same thing because they all use like lower to what was the word? Compromise has lowering of standards and it has settling in the definition. So what y'all think? And audience, if you're watching, tap in. Let us know what you think as well. We might even bring you on the camera. We'll see about that. But yeah, what do you think? Chelsea, what you think?
Oh, wow. What do I think about women lowering said standards? Not said standards, but lowering their standards. So you caught me off guard because I was texting as you asked that question.
Who you texting?
I was texting people and say, hey, hop on a live.
Oh.
Gonna keep it real. For audience engagement. But I'm the person yesterday who stirred the pot and was like, how do you define lowering the standards, right? She went on the rant based off of because I like to know context. Like, what do you mean standards? This is tough. So I don't think people should compromise on their non-negotiables. I guess the language for me is was a tough point for me.
Let's use what she asked though.
So that's what I'm saying.
And then we get into different definitions.
No, I don't.
We're going to go to compromise.
That's how the conversation went left because you asked that question.
Okay, do I think a person should lower their standards?
No.
I guess it depends on how you define
let's talk about standards, and because you said how you talk about standards, and then you went straight to compromise. So you're going to give us the definition of compromise, but let's stay on standards so we all can stay on standards.
Okay.
Or how would you define standards? Is what I'm asking.
How would how I would define standards is non-negotiables, right? So like I have non-negotiables that maybe you didn't like kill somebody last year or like ever in your life. Or why did I go there? I don't know.
Statute of limitations is fine.
Last year.
If the statute of limitations have lifted, you are good, bro.
If it was 7 years ago, I think you're in the clear.
Okay, he's better.
You filed bankruptcy 7 years ago. You is good, but you actually are good. But
so I would say non-negotiables, and so like when I have conversations with people who I'm getting to know and dating, I talk about like I really would like to have someone who's like emotionally available, and when I say that, I mean like someone who is, I guess, emotionally aware enough to be able to recognize like when they're having like a moment or to be able to express their feelings without resorting to immediately to like anger or shutting down. And also like somebody who I could be open and vulnerable with. Like if I can't experience that safety with someone, then I would want to be with them. I guess I'm not going to lie. I think I am a little bit, I'm not going to downplay myself. I think I prefer a man who is educated. I don't think I know. I know I prefer a man who's educated. And I struggle with this because I feel like I sound shallow, but it's my truth.
That's good.
Thanks. And yeah, so it would be hard for me to not date somebody with some type of higher educational experience. Let
me just chime in on what you were saying, because to her question and just to emulate what you were just saying at the end there, it's like we have to feel guilty as Black women for saying, no, I don't want a dumb man who don't got no money. Like, it's fine if I want the dumb man that's on the street. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's okay to say, I want this man to be educated because, yes, I'm a professional 2-degree woman. Like, what? It's okay for you not to want the homeless Joe on the street. That's cool.
And I
Joe might know Betty. Betty might be homeless.
My dog almost spilled my wine, y'all. Jeez Louise.
Oh no, Coco.
Whew. She just jumped up here like a mad dog. I do agree with that. I think too, like I think it's important to highlight, like just because you're educated doesn't mean you have money. And I think a non-negotiable for me, or a standard for me, would be like someone who is financially smart, for lack of better words. Like, are you good with your finances? Kay got some
Real,
stuff to
but
say, honey.
literacy.
I was
Yeah,
just thinking,
financial
just
literacy.
because you're educated doesn't mean that you have money. Just because you're educated doesn't mean that you're not dumb.
Yeah,
Because just because you have money doesn't mean that you're good at managing it. Like, so yeah.
that's more important than anything, honestly. And so while that'll get your foot in the door, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I won't like completely like somebody else if they don't have like a college degree, because at this point, like that doesn't even mean a whole lot depending on the field.
So is that
But
your
like
non-negotiable then? Is that a non-negotiable?
I
What?
think a
Or
non-
that I should say? Education.
I think a non-negotiable is someone who is like passionate about what they do. Like, I don't care what you do. Are you passionate about it? Are you like a hard worker? You financially
She's a
literate?
Gemini, guys. That's why that happened.
That was shade, I think. I'm done.
Love shade.
So I was having this conversation with this guy yesterday. Oh, he told me to say his name, Kier. I was having a conversation with Kier yesterday, and shout out to HU. This guy yesterday. Oh, he told me to say his name. Kier. I was having a conversation with Kier. QT8. Well, y'all know QT8. I can't remember it. Oh man, don't ban me. Anyways, so shout out to Hampton. Shout out to QT8. I was talking to Kier yesterday. If you're in class QT8, then you know Kier is. And we were talking about how women tend to place their non-negotiables on tangible physical things, and men have their non-negotiables typically on things that are not tangible but more like personality traits, or sometimes it could be physical body traits, right? Just depends on the man. But like my thoughts are like the reason why women be like, he need to have a car, he need to have money, he needs to have this, right, is because we were taught that men should be able to financially support their families. When men should be able to take care of us. Like that's kind of like the traditional mindset. That's kind of like the society that we live in. But why do y'all think? I don't know. Because he was hell-bent on like saying like men don't be like she need to have a big booty. And they might not say that out loud, but I see what you like on Instagram. So
I've never heard a man say that they don't take aesthetics into account when they're looking for their life partner. Like, oh yeah, I'll take the ugly girl.
I definitely
She
have.
cool.
I feel like, but
I've never heard that.
It was literally on it was like our last event. Like, remember we had the event where and the little men, I forgot their little names. But like,
you didn't forget their names.
I forgot.
It's the little for me, the little men and their little names.
And they were
the
like,
halfway successful men, Lynn. The halfway successful men.
The halfway successful men. I hope y'all tuning in.
Jesus. No, halfway successful men, they out with their girl, with all the plentiful girls they have, apparently.
That part, right? Because they have so many options.
But what did they say, Chills?
But they were basically like no, like looks aren't everything. We don't take looks into account. Like you can be, yada yada. It's all about what's in here, right? And while that sounds nice, it sounds real cute. Like, you're looking for what you like, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you're looking at external things. You're looking at external things, and then if the external matches the internal, then okay, cool.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what Lynn said earlier. It's like, why y'all mad? Because we can honestly be honest and be like, he needs to be 6'1" or taller. Like, why are y'all mad? Because we can honestly say that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Right, what you got to say, girl? You quiet over there.
Well, I'm thinking about, can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm thinking about one of my girlfriends. She's very adamant about, I don't want to date a man or ask a man for something that I don't have myself. So just listening to y'all, and just, even what you just said, Kay, I want a man that's 6 feet and taller. Well, I can't
I'm
ask for that
6
because
feet in
that
my
girl is
mind.
only 5'2".
No, I'm 6
You
feet in
know,
my mind. I don't care what you say. I'm 6 feet in my mind.
This personality is on 6'7".
I mean,
Come
but
on.
we can want these things are they can be non-negotiable for us and to each their own. But I was just thinking about how she has this mindset of if I don't live alone, I can't expect you to live alone. Or if I'm not making six figures, why am I wanting him to make six figures? Like, yes, that's a goal, but in reality, I'm not there. So
I actually
I don't
agree
know.
with that.
Yeah.
I agree with
Especially if
that
it's
when
an
it comes to
expectation.
finances and things like cars, houses, those financial things, but like physical traits, that comes with attraction. So I don't know, like a woman's not, it's gonna be extremely rare for a woman to be 6'3". It's just not, it's rare. But that's just attraction. I don't know if that even should be a non-negotiable. That's what you're attracted to. But that money thing, like, don't be asking nobody to make to have six figures and you don't make six figures. Don't ask people
I
to
don't
be
agree
good
with that.
stewards over their money if you aren't a good steward over your money. Like, that's not
I
fair.
don't agree with that either.
That's not fair.
Okay, when we talk about financials, for me myself, I would say I'm good with money, right? And I don't want a man to be good with money. I need him to be better with money because when I go through my phase of flipping up, I need you to have us. Or like that's me. That's me personally.
I would want us to have. I mean,
Better than me in a lot of areas. Yeah, that's that.
I would agree with that. I think in general, I desired a man to be better than me because, like, I just want to. I struggle with being better than because I feel like we're going to be better than each other in certain areas,
I was thinking
Right.
and I like to be with someone who I can learn from, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes that may be financially, right? I feel like I'm pretty financially stable, and I love to learn and talk about finances. I could always do better, right? I don't do housey stuff or other stuff, right? That I could probably learn from my partner or whatever have you. And I would imagine there's several things that I can do, that my partner can learn from me. And I just think it's a matter of, I don't know, having realistic expectations. Kay had a reaction. What's that, girl? What you
I
got?
just remembered the sign.
Okay, but I got a reaction to that.
Okay.
I think I don't I'm not gonna have the popular opinion. When you say it's the bringing the same stuff to each other, I agree with that, but on a different plane of things. Like just because he might have the money and I don't, we might be, at level somewhere else, or he may need help in this area and I don't. So I'm very much of a yin and yang person. Like I'm trying to cultivate a lot of resources. So I don't want somebody who's bringing exactly what I'm bringing to the table. I want somebody who can cultivate what I'm bringing while I nurture what he's doing. Like I needed to be a ball of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's kind of like the concept. It's kind of like the concept of having like the people that you are in your life that you build relationships with, whether men or female, should always be adding something to you, some kind of value, right? And so I guess that kind of goes with that's the same concept as like my partner may be financially stable. He may make six figures, and I may not have all of those things. Like I may not have the assets I want my partner to have, right? But at the same time, I'm going to make sure we are fed. I am going to make sure I stay in shape. I am going to, so there's other things. I'm going to make sure we stay in shape. I'm going to make sure that you have everything that you need so that you can keep on going out to get it. So you're still adding value, even though it's not the same kind of value. You're making sure we're financially good. I'm making sure we're good at this in this house. But the people who mess that up is the people who, these Instagram models with these fake boobs and big booties who are just like, I want it all. Like, I deserve a soft life. But you don't do nothing, sis.
Talk about it, honey.
They mess it up for us. You
Do
don't
they
deserve
mess
a
it
soft life.
up?
You deserve a really hard life. Sorry.
That's what you're going to end up getting.
Whoa.
That's what you're
Why do
going to
they
get.
deserve that though?
Huh?
Not that I don't disagree, but in retrospect, to play devil's advocate, why do they not deserve what they think they deserve?
Because what have you
I
done
guess
to get it? That's not how life works.
Clearly, they like working like that.
I
No,
mean,
it's not.
I think it depends on the relationship. I don't think it's that black and white. I don't necessarily think it's about what's deserved and what's not deserved. And I feel like there will always be some type of sacrifice that's going to occur. And so if you want to live this soft life and be all cute and, you know, BBL'd up and all that good stuff, and you just want somebody to take care of you, that's cool. And it may happen, but your relationship may suffer in other ways. You may be emotionally abused. You may
They
be
already
physically
done
abused.
suffered through the
You may be
BBL.
neglected.
You
Well,
forgot
they
the
might like that.
BBL. Oh
Well, I heard
man,
that's like a really dangerous surgery. Nonetheless,
Most
right? And so
surgery in the world.
like that was a
yeah.
sacrifice right there, bro. They sacrificed blood. Nobody's seen that. How you gonna gloss over that?
I mean, I
That
think
ain't
you're
the
missing
point.
the
The
point,
point
bro.
is they're
You're
gonna
missing the point.
sacrifice. They
Mhm.
will. That's true, shows. I do agree that you're gonna sacrifice in other areas. You might deal with a lot more traumatic experiences in your relationship. You might be dating a cheater. You know, if that's what you want, then that's cool. But my point was they're messing it up for girls like us that work really hard and we just want somebody to add value to us so that we can add value back to them.
Mhm. And not in a competition way, like in
Right.
a let's iron sharpen iron way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You don't
your
know
iron
anybody?
might be sharper here, mine might be sharper here, and it's okay. Like we as Black professionals need to lower our egos. Our egos are like wildly out of control. That's my opinion. Because that's why we're
Why?
talking about standards and we instantly go to tangible things because standards should be, like you said, non-negotiables. What am I gonna walk away from? What do you call, are you a liar? I can't do that. I can't build on that because you won't tell me the truth. I don't know what I'm building on.
I don't
Do
necessarily
you
know if that's a
have
black
good
professional thing, though. I mean, I think that uh, I think there are truly people
I
out
only
here
use that
just.
because we're talking about Black professional women. Why
I
did I
see.
just say that? No, we not. We're talking
You
about
can
Black
say
women. I
that.
lied.
That's what that podcast was about. Kinda. It was really about black women. Nonetheless, we didn't talk about the podcast yet. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Stop
So, guys,
ignoring
if
her.
you
Just
couldn't
mute.
already tell, I have a toddler in the background. And I told her not to say anything, but here she
That's the
is.
Just
So
cutest
put
thing.
us on mute. You better stop ignoring her.
she was on the last
Mhm.
live,
I'm
and she's
trying to
gonna
give
be on
her
this one
hand
too.
signals.
So that's my baby, everybody. But yes, I think I was gonna whatever I was gonna say was going to be good. I think, I guess I just don't like the word standards because, and you know, I oftentimes talk to my clients who are dating about like just understanding like what they want, and whether or not what they want is realistic. Because I don't honestly think people are very realistic with what they want. Um,
Mhm.
and I think being realistic means understanding like what I guess what your non-negotiables are, what you're not willing to budge on, and how superficial that is or not, right? To me, height is height superficial? It is superficial because it doesn't say anything about the content of the person, except for that one person who had the shirt.
The Napoleon syndrome, man.
I talked about him last. Um, I
Hold on,
digress.
pause. Y'all make sure y'all privacy is right because mine was messed up again. Okay.
I don't know how.
No, I saw
don't.
yours. You're good. You're good.
Okay, good.
But my privacy was on only me again. And well,
No, mine is my friends on Facebook.
yeah, you're good too, Chose.
Cool.
Now the
Okay,
87-year-old, I don't know.
it's all right, girl.
Y'all know. God got me. God hold me every day. He's keeping me. Thank you, Lord.
Okay, no, we was talking about the Napoleon complex, dude.
Oh, that's it. I mean, I actually would have liked him if his like insecurity wasn't like spilling out all over the place.
But is height really superficial, or is that like preference? Like that's what you prefer. It doesn't mean you'll get it, but like that's what you prefer. That's what you're
So that's
attracted.
not a non-negotiable, right? That's not a non-negotiable.
Right,
Like
it's
it's a
not a
preference, but it's not a
non-negotiable.
non-negotiable. Like
It's
if I
good
just
for
so
some
happen to
people.
meet the love of education. I think a non-negotiable is someone who is like passionate about what they do, right? That's not a non-negotiable.
Right,
Like
it's
it's a
not a
preference, but it's not a
non-negotiable.
non-negotiable. Like
What's
if I
happening?
just happen to meet the love of education.
Just
I didn't do that at all.
What?
who did that?
Let me just let you guys know that the last time we did a live, it was like flawless. This time,
We're going through
Oh my
made her make that
God,
point.
Jesus.
something.
it was
What
me
was
talking.
it?
It was me.
I thought
Maybe
I
that
was
was.
tripping in my head.
I was looking at just like her mouth not moving.
Like, I was like, wait a minute, is she saying this? Her mouth?
I thought I was tripping, y'all. Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
I
do that.
thought I was too. I kept looking at y'all. Y'all was so face.
Okay, but look, check this though. I don't think that it's fair for other people to tell you what your non-negotiables are.
I agree with that.
That's not fair.
Mhm.
Now it might
Why
be
would-
stupid and it might hinder you and make your dating pool smaller, and that's perfectly fine if that is somebody else's preference. He got to be 6'1", then that's their preference. He got to be 6'1". Because I say that because somebody that I know was like, "Hey, like I am a trainer. I work out, and so I only date girls who work out." And I'm like, "Okay, so you don't like fat girls?" I don't like girls who don't work out. Okay, cool. That's your preference. But that doesn't mean that that's everybody's preference. So why is it okay for that to be one of your non-negotiables, but one of my non-negotiables can't be that he needs to make a certain amount of money? Like, that's not fair.
I agree. I don't think people should tell you what your non-negotiables are, what they should be.
Mhm.
I think oftentimes people like to weigh in their
Doesn't mean
opinion
you
because
get
they
it.
feel. I'm lagging on my Facebook. Anyway, I don't know, honey. I might be a ghost or something in the
It's
universe.
probably the 87-year-old doing something over there.
Low key.
Literally not doing anything.
87.
Nonetheless, what I was essentially saying is I was telling somebody earlier today about how it is like one of my biggest pet peeves when people tell me what I should think and what I should feel. If he's watching, hey. But it is a really big pet peeve for people to tell me what to think and what to feel. And I feel like what your non-negotiables are is what they are. That's your preference, and that's okay, right? If you have to live with that, nobody else. And if you feel like you need to adjust what your non-negotiables are or your preferences are at any point in your life, then that is freaking okay. I almost cursed. And then that's that. And if you feel some type of way about it, then you probably should check yourself because you probably are insecure about something.
Mhm.
Person who has something to say about your non-negotiables.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I could be 5'0" and still want him to be 6'2". It's okay. Non-negotiable.
That's okay.
That's okay. Thank you.
How we doing, y'all? We okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like, okay, so going back to the question though, like, so should Black women lower their standards to find a life partner? Now the key, this is some words in here that's important, and that's Black women, right? And I think that's the question because of the podcast that you was talking about earlier. But more so like Black women tend to always get and of course this is from a Black woman's perspective, I understand, but the Black woman typically gets the short end of the stick in most areas of life, right? In career, in relationships, in friendships, in family, in many areas Black women tend to like have to take the back seat, or just really have to like defy gravity to make things happen. And so I guess the question is, should Black women, because when is it okay for Black women to be like, nah, like I'm gonna stand up for this part of life right here, like I'm not gonna accept a man who is not up to par according to me.
A man who I don't want. There's
that part.
I don't want somebody who I don't want, and that's okay. And I think what was discussed from what I got through in the podcast is society likes to tell us that we should settle, that we should bend, because if not, then we're going to be alone and lonely, and we're not going to be happy and fulfilled. And realistically, there are plenty of Black women out here living single without children, with children, who are having very fulfilled, full lives without someone who probably makes them miserable. Because when you end up when you end up folding on your non-negotiables, or when you settle for someone or something that you don't like, and I'm not talking about little stuff. I'm talking about big, like fundamental stuff, personality stuff, moral stuff. Then you end up unhappy. Then you end up in a not so great situation.
Right.
A conundrum.
Huh?
A
Did you
conundrum.
figure a conundrum? Yes.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
think we should learn about what our standards are, like actually defining those, and not having standards that culture told us should be what standards are. So like things like maybe not personality traits or like assets and stuff like that, but like what is your daily routine? What about your daily routine fits with mine? What about
Are
your
you emotionally aware?
are you emotionally aware? Can you read a room? Those things, because those are traits, those are things that like all that other stuff is gonna fade. You can lose all your money tomorrow. You can, fall down some stairs and be bruised up and ugly and deformed. Like all this stuff is fading, but it's like, who is your heart? Like I've been asking God for somebody who I can trust his heart, because I may not understand his actions, but if I can trust his heart, then I can say, I don't understand why he did that, but I know his heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
That I can trust. All this other stuff, like I can't trust him if he got money, because a man with a lot of money got a lot of powerful outlets, and if he don't have self control, a lot of them plugs getting socketed. Like.
Well, when you pick your standards properly, or you pick your non-negotiables properly. So if you're saying like, I want to be with somebody who plans, I want to be with somebody who I can trust their heart. I want to be with somebody who is emotionally aware. I want to be with somebody who believes in therapy. You're typically going to get a man who is also financially stable, financially aware. Like you're going to get all of these other things because they coincide with one another. So I learned that yesterday, by the way. So like, yeah, maybe we need to work on choosing our standards better.
And looking at the person as a whole, like looking at different parts of their lives, not just judging them based off of one aspect of who they are, but looking at them as a whole. And sometimes it takes a minute to see that, right? But because I think we can get blindsided by like bright and shiny things, like, oh, you drive a nice car. I know I have in the past. Oh, you drive a nice car. Oh, you make this amount of money. Oh, you look cool. Yeah. Oh, you wear, you know what I mean? But realistically, how are you treating me? Right. And I can honestly attest to, in the past, I have romanticized situations where I see the bright and shiny, and I'm like, oh, well, he might not be the most consistent. He may not be the nicest all the time. And he's not emotionally available. And he low key be minimizing me. And he be gaslighting me that one time 2 weeks ago. But we look good on paper.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's the importance of communication, and also not getting sexually involved, because we all know that clutters your mindset as well. Yeah. So taking it genuinely and truthfully, taking your time to get to know someone can avoid all of that.
Yeah. Or it can just be like the guy who drives a nice car. Y'all, this guy, I knew he drove a nice car and he treated me really, really well, like extremely well. And then one day, like he just did not like answer the phone, and like I was having panic attacks, and I'm like, something happened to him, y'all. I don't know what's wrong. Like I care about him so much. I hope that he's okay. And his mom called me and said, oh, he had a psychotic episode. He's bipolar. He didn't tell you that? And I'm like, nah, bro, he didn't tell me that, right? Like, so what are your non-negotiables? We need to talk about this stuff at the beginning, because like Chelsea said, we get blindsided by the shiny things, and we also get blindsided by the way that he treats us.
Mm-hmm. Man, what's your face doing?
Yeah.
Very true.
Just because he treats you nice don't mean ain't no non-negotiables.
I just really be thinking like how this is bad to say. This is kind of veering off, but not kind of veering off. To select a life partner is dangerous. Like, do you understand? Like, to enter into a relationship with your life partner, and then just think like, well, that you can think, because there's plenty of examples. Like, homeboy just wake up one day and look at you and like, nah, this ain't it. I'm out. Like, your life is shattered. That's dangerous. Like, whew. That's what I was
That's
just
why you
thinking
don't put all your
about.
eggs in one basket. I mean,
Wait a minute.
That's not
We
it.
just gonna skate over that.
Scratch the record.
Right. Run it back.
Like, that ain't it. No.
not that,
Nah, that's
not
what I'm saying.
dating, not dating. I don't mean like let me have a main and then
Woo.
hella sides. I mean
That's
like
what you said,
I
bro.
think
You
I
said,
misspoke. I misspoke. I can
Yeah,
misspeak
what
sometimes.
did you say?
said don't put all them
She
eggs in
said-
one basket.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Now tell us what you meant.
Whoa. That's what she meant.
Maybe put that down. No.
So sincere. That's why you can't keep all your eggs in one basket. Like I mean,
Okay, let me
that's
explain.
not
Let me
that's
explain.
not for the public. You forgot we
No,
was live.
no. What I mean is because I'm not. Y'all know I'm not good at that. I'm not. Yeah, I'm. Anyway, I'm bad. Anyway, so no. I mean, in the past when I've been single, I have.
Girl,
She's still practicing.
I've had a couple in the basket.
She's still
When I'm
practicing.
I had
no.
a
So
couple
okay.
in the basket.
Wait,
They
let me
done swung
finish.
my way.
Let me finish.
Let her finish telling us how to do it. The goat
What
show.
I'm saying
Notes.
is, you wake up one day and he's just like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. Like, you should have your own. You should be independent. Have your own money, your own life. Like, I think about like when me and my ex broke up, right? Like, how he will argue this to the death of him, but he low key kind of did that to me, right? And it was there's obviously way more context to that I'm not going to share, but that's kind of what happened in a nutshell. And it abruptly ended, and I had to pick up my life, and I had to figure some stuff out, and I did, right? And so I'm not talking about like having all the, just out here with everybody, but just I am not. But just making sure that you're secure because at the end of the day, you're the only one who can take care of you. And I had to learn that the hard way. And I actually believed in myself. I didn't believe in myself as much in that moment. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. But I did, and I think I gained a lot of confidence as a result. So.
Good job.
But I think it's important to still say like that's why it's important to not put all of your eggs in one basket too soon.
That part too. Yeah.
It's giving real hot girl city girl summer.
Why
Like,
is that giving hot girl summer? Because you don't want to commit to one person immediately.
I'm a city girl. Ain't nothing free about me.
I mean, you put that all professionally, but it's saying the same thing. City girls up this summer. Ow. Are you saying the same thing just professionally?
No, I think the city girls have a little different message than what we're saying.
What are they saying?
We're saying, like our grandma used to say, if he ain't married, he's single, right? And it goes for women too. If you're not married, you're single, and I am allowed to date and get to know other people until we discuss that we're no longer going to do that.
The conversation.
I don't have to go on one date with somebody and be like, he's the one. I found him. Like, and that's typically what we do. We go on a couple of dates and be like, "Ooh, he got it." Like,
really, oh, girl, that was a word. You're not kidding about that one.
Yeah, that's real true.
Like, oh my gosh, he like the same character on this show.
We're gonna be together.
We're meant to be.
That's my man.
He had on hoochie daddy shorts. We're getting married tomorrow.
Not the hoochie daddy shorts.
Did y'all see the tattoo on his
neck? The tattoo. That's my man. Oh, we getting married. Oh, I've been there. Yeah, we should do that, man.
We do it. And in reality, like, no, like you should go on multiple dates and get to know multiple people and then decide. Because that's what they do.
And that's kind of how you find out your standards. Because I think we have made up standards because it's like we want a man like that does X, Y, and Z. These are standards that we believe will mesh well with us. Look, maybe you get this person that has all your standards, and I've gotten a couple of young men who met all my standards. We did not get along. Like the personalities, like his personality to my personality, whack.
So then does he really meeting your standards then?
Well, no, that's why I didn't have a clear understanding of what my standards were. I had a given set of standards from culture.
Yeah. Or you could find somebody that sometimes you forget stuff. Like even when you're praying and asking God for things, you forget stuff. Like I asked for him to be financially stable. I asked for him to be fine. I asked for him to be emotionally aware. I asked for him to be believe in therapy. I asked for him to be able to keep me calm. I asked for all of these things, and I forgot to ask to not let him be married. God, I forgot that part. Like,
That's a
there's
big
things
one.
that we forget to
That's a good
ask
one.
for, and so that's a part of standards too. Like, he can meet
That
your
is not on my list. You right. Don't trip because I'm adding it right now, bro.
Yeah, married man can stay away.
Yeah.
It's sure
Or
that
he
sure
could be
isn't
all
on
of
my
everything that
list.
you want, and he could be divorced, and you forgot to add that to your list. You forgot to add the fact that he had 7 kids and 6 baby mamas to your list. Like, we forget things. That's all I'm saying, Lynn.
You need to
Oh,
be
girl, don't
very
say that
clear.
out there.
Be
Let's
very clear with
keep that
yourself,
in
God,
mind.
and your notepad.
Oh, you're right. Single.
Because you can say you want to have a family,
Got
but
7 kids.
the
and
family
got
was already
7
made.
big
You jumping in
mamas.
on it.
Right. And he don't even want no more kids.
Golly.
I
You
mean,
can say,
is he
I want
supporting
5
the
kids.
kids?
You could meet a man who has 5 kids.
Why we saying this, Jesus? Why we talking? This done went down. Y'all know life and death is in the power of the tongue. We talking about these
Ain't
men
nobody
with these
spoke. We not
multiple
speaking
kids.
into existence. We're
Jesus.
talking about situations.
Oh no.
But I think though, Nico, the point though is if you want, like, you have to be very clear about what you want. And
You
so
do.
if this is what you want and what you don't want, then you need to make sure you put it in the universe so God can hear you, so you can be sent what you need to be sent. So you're not out here getting, a little bit plus a little bit extra. And that
Yeah,
extra stuff was that stuff you didn't
Oh,
want.
that part.
like them extra kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. I talked to this man who said he had 6 kids. I was like, what in the Jesus? You just
So like
out here. Go get
we
back with your baby
understand.
mama.
Wait, was it the same? Anyway,
You go ahead now.
was it
Go
the
back. What is
okay?
y'all doing? Brady Bunching.
Out here playing in the streets.
It was the
Right.
same. It was the
Ain't
same
no
family.
story.
Was it the
They
same
probably
baby
don't.
mama?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they should be
Go
together.
back home, bro.
My bad. Yeah,
Home.
they got a
Go
cute
home.
family.
Out here
Mhm.
playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Doing
mad.
this to
You
this
was
I
mad.
hope
lady.
you watch him. Hmm.
Always
Poor lady.
Okay, so let me
with all
ask
them
you guys,
kids.
how do we know, like what our standards are? Like, no, not what, but like why? Why are our standards our standards? Do y'all ever ask yourself why? Why don't
Yeah.
we want somebody with 6 kids? Why don't we want somebody who
hmm
may be divorced? Why don't we want a married
Can we
man?
take that a little further?
Yes.
Why do you even want to be in a relationship?
Yeah.
Period.
Like, why?
Because
That's
that's
Well,
a good
dating
start.
sucks.
you don't want to be in a
So that's a
relationship.
start.
Why do you? And do you want to be in a relationship?
Answer the
Are you
question.
adept to being into it? Oh, me answer the question? I want to cultivate something. I don't want a relationship because of all the lovey-dovey stuff. I literally want to build a village of people of support and resources around me so I can enjoy life the way that I want to enjoy it. And that includes me having a husband, my man, my man, my man, and our kids, our kids, our kids. On our land, our land, our land.
Yes,
Amen.
well, I don't know. Because I don't know if I want to be in a relationship anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to be in a relationship long term or moments from now, but in this very moment, no.
Yeah.
Not right. Mm-mm. And why? I want to be able to know for sure that person is my person and I'm there and I'm theirs. Like, it's just us to the end, no matter what type. Like, I want that.
I am going to piggyback off of Ray. I agree with that. I think I desire to be in a relationship. I desire to be in a long-term relationship with my one person. We grow old and we build a big old life together, and we're all happy and cute, and whatnot. But I also don't want to like rush into it. I want to be sure about this person, and I think I just enjoy it. Like, I enjoy family. I love having my one person. What, y'all laughing at me?
No, I'm sorry. I just got a text message.
Ray.
I'm gonna get in trouble from this conversation.
Look
I
here.
bet.
You said you didn't want to be in no relationship.
I stand on what I said.
Period.
Oh.
I will not lower my standards
Okay.
for a life partner.
That part.
Okay.
Sorry, Jesse.
I don't think anybody should though, and right, and that's. I love that you said that because it's just like I don't want to just like jump into something. Everybody say hey to baby girl. She's here.
Baby girl.
Hey, girl.
Anyway,
Baby
walked
girl,
away.
you stay on
We're
my
not.
mind.
So I don't want to lower my standards for a life partner, but I do desire to be in a relationship. I'm not gonna lie, dating is not the funnest experience. It can be really discouraging at times. I can really get in my head. It can be very anxiety provoking. But I don't know. I guess I just try to maintain hope. I'm. I just posted this on like my Instagram the other day. Like you can do this little questions, and I think I was like saying that like I'm just like a hopeless romantic. Like I love the Disney love and all that, the say yes to the dress and the four-way. I just love. It makes me so happy. It makes my heart all fluttery. And I just want to feel that from like my one person. And I know that Disney lied to us and I know it's all fake and all that stuff. But man, do I want to experience it. And I've
Who
experienced it
said
before and I'd
Disney
like to
lied?
experience it again. We did it during the last episode.
We did
I
I
what?
be
think
changing my mind. I go back and forth.
I
Sometimes
think
they
I'm pretty sure
lied,
Kay
sometimes
said
they
it.
didn't. I don't know.
That Disney set us up for failure essentially, which I don't disagree with.
Don't get me
Right?
started on
I
that
don't
Disney.
think they did. I think they
Yes,
set
they
us
did.
up with the laziness of it because they made it seem like it's fast to find that.
I don't even think they made it seem as it was fast. I think they didn't really show that it was like relationships are just not this like fairy tale. They're not. They're hard. And it's not always going to be like a prince charming or like the most expecting person. And but I do believe that that type of love can exist.
Mhm.
I hope I'm always a hopeless romantic. Yeah, I love it. I love love.
I want to be like Up. Y'all seen the movie Up?
Oh
Yes, that movie is so cute and
Yes.
sad.
I want to have my chair and you have your chair.
Oh,
yes. Oh my god.
That's how
okay. I have a
already
question
that
though.
movie.
Y'all know I always got questions for days.
Mhm.
Okay, so all of us said we eventually want to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
Do you think it's real spicy, Lynn? You with me? Do you think that humans have the ability to commit to one person for the rest of their life?
I would love to see some people
100%.
in the
That
comments on this
means
one.
no cheating, not emotionally, not physically, 100%.
Wait,
Yeah.
say it again.
Do humans have the ability to commit 100%
Ability.
for the rest of their life?
I hope so. Can I just be naive and say yes?
I think so.
That's what you want to be.
I'm not being naive. I think it's possible.
Emotionally, physically?
Yes, absolutely.
I
And
think it's possible.
I think it's yes. And I want to just go back to what Chelsea was saying, how she was saying that dating could be, would you say dating could be hard or something? I don't think dating has to be that. And I truly believe that it only is that because we're dating the wrong person.
I don't agree with that.
All right.
I think when I say dating can be hard, I mean I think you go through things with a person. And I think the hard part sometimes is continuing to show up for that person and continuing to show up for the relationship despite hard times. Because there will be times that you may not like a person or they get on your nerves, but because you love them so much, because you value the relationship so much that you continue to show up for them, and that sometimes is hard. No, I think stuff
Now,
like
if you
arguing
want,
and go ahead.
if you believe that that is your person, it shouldn't be hard to do those things or to be there for them, to show up continuously. I don't necessarily think it should be hard.
No, that's Disney right here. I mean, that's what I believe is the Disney lie right there. Because what we see in Disney is it happens instantly, but we don't see why the fairy tale happens or why they mesh together. We don't pick right. We're not picking for like those moments. We're picking for what they look like, but not actually what in reality makes those moments.
I think what Ray is saying though is I kind of agree. Rico, the topic scrolling at the bottom.
What's up,
We're gonna
Rico?
go off of it.
Rico Suave.
But I think like the topic, should Black women lower their standards to find a life partner? But we're kind of off of that a little bit, and we're talking about I don't know. We talking about, do humans have the ability to commit for the rest of their lives? And then we started talking about the Disney fairy tale, right? And Ray mentioned that she thinks that being with a person when you start going through things with a person, it shouldn't be hard. Is that what you're saying, Ray?
Mm-hmm. If they're your person, it shouldn't be hard. You'll want to show up for them. It'll be without a questioning, a matter of a doubt, none of that. Like this is it.
And I kind of get what you're saying. Like, I think it's like a play on words, and the play on words is like the word hard. Like, I think that it still is hard, but it's a different kind of hard. Like, it's hard to make somebody love you that doesn't love you, right? That's hard. Mm-hmm. But it's just slightly difficult to learn how to effectively communicate with another human being, right? It's still like difficult, but it's a different kind of difficult. And you want it to happen so bad that it's not, you don't really look at it as hard. You're just like, I love you so much. And I really just want this to be smooth. So I'm going to do whatever it takes. Like you got a different kind of fight about you.
Yeah.
And like trying to force somebody to love you or something, you know, along that line.
Another way of putting that is like when people say when you don't think about work as work because it's what you love doing.
Right.
Another way of putting it.
Right.
Okay.
And
then
then
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I think you can do whatever type of hard work if you're with the person that you enjoy being with, or if you're doing something that I think it's more of even if it's a person type thing because you can. I don't know. Maybe that's just where I'm at in my head space right now because I feel like I do a lot of work if I can have somebody to kiki with every 5 minutes, like a dog with a bone, then I'll get whatever you need done. But if I'm like struggling with my environment and I don't want to be here and I don't like you, I'm doing whatever and I'm gone. Like, I hope this work is up to par.
Yeah.
So Talisha said this, but I really think this is a good point that Rico said. So we're going to come back to that. But Talisha said, no one should lower their standards. I say, get with someone that understands you. A relationship is all about balance. And that's what we were talking about earlier, like being able to like provide value to someone else and allow that person to provide value to you as well. Like you shouldn't be getting with anybody, even friends, who are not providing or adding value to your life. Mm-hmm. But Rico, what is you saying? Love doesn't have standards. People do. I think that's true, but we ain't talking about falling in love. We talking about like
life partners.
Life partners, right? Realistic and saying, I can love a bum, right?
I've loved a lot of bums. I still love them.
Mm-hmm. I love all of y'all, but none of y'all are gonna be my life partners because y'all don't fit my standards because y'all not men.
But wait a minute though, because I had a friend that said that she calls her best friend her life partner.
Well, I do think y'all are the loves of my life, but there's a difference. I don't want y'all to be my partners, but y'all are the loves of my life. Y'all know that. That's how y'all saved in my phone. Loves of my life.
So you ain't gonna love your life partner?
Huh?
So you ain't gonna love your life partner?
Yeah, I am gonna love my life partner, but I think there's a little business in that too, though, right? Like
in being a life partner.
Yeah,
that's good. I think people don't talk about that either.
Yes.
A marriage is a business. A life partnership is a business. Yes.
Yeah, it's a complete business.
We gotta make decisions together. I don't have to make any decisions with y'all other than where we going for my birthday.
Well, I mean,
what we gonna do in Jamaica? Like that's the decision. But like with a life partner, where are our kids going to school at? Where do we live?
Estate planning, wills,
pays the electricity bill,
sickness. Yeah.
Estate planning.
Yeah.
That's a business.
Yeesh.
Marriage is contractual, but I guess the point though, I'm looking at the comments here. I guess the point though is like,
where are the comments at?
Not on the screen yet, but I'm looking over here where it says the comments.
Y'all don't see the comments over
there?
No, you guys always see comments.
No, I never see
well, it
comments either.
Marriage is contractual, and that's a fact, and that's what we're saying. I want to be able to be with someone, or I think when you choose to be in a marriage with someone, I do think you should like said person, right? I do believe, I'm a person who believes that marriage should include, you should have some type of love for this person, right? Like be in love with them, but that's not enough, right? You have to be able to do life with this person. You have to be able to mesh well enough to be able to successfully do life together, to be able to successfully have children together. There is a difference. Okay, let me be quiet. You have to learn your person. Exactly, Van. You have to learn
keep
your person.
going. I just was putting the comments.
I'm sorry. And I'm also reading the comments. I gotta get out the comments.
She's doing it like he actually popped up in on her, like you could hear. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rico Suave going back and forth with each other.
Wait a minute. I want to see the comments.
There is a difference between love and so me and my ex argue about this all the time. He swears there's no difference. There is a difference.
There's
How-
a huge difference.
Yeah, but I still feel like
I think everybody loves everybody.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I love everybody, but I am in love with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think there is a difference. I
that's
really
hard to know that part too.
a big difference. Yeah.
What's the difference?
No, I definitely think there is, but that's what somebody said. I think they said love doesn't have standards. That's being in love. When you're in love, then the standards kind of they're
What y'all laughing at?
I don't know. Ray is laughing at something. She must have seen the comments.
what did it
Then go
say?
ahead, girl.
It's okay. Go.
I lost my thought. I wanted to laugh too.
Now she didn't forgot her
I
thought.
forgot my thought. Yeah,
There's a difference between loving and being in love. There we go.
Oh, okay. Being in love makes it more of a business. Now it's we're in this. I'm more of accepting of you, and I'm dealing with those things that may not be at face my standards, but things that I have to work up to being my standards or your standards or whatever that may be. If I love you, you don't have to match up to my standards at all. I love you, human. We just don't have to have that much interface, and that's fine. I can love you, and we just.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's that black and white. I think it depends on the dynamics of the relationship. Go ahead, Kay.
This real spicy.
More importantly, does the person know and understand that you're lowering your Ooh, shoot.
That's good. That's good.
That's real
really
good.
good.
That's good.
Should they? In and out.
Yes.
Should they know?
Good
Should
thing.
you be telling them, like, bro, I typically don't date men who are not emotionally aware. However, I'm gonna give you a shot. How do you
I've
see?
been told some. Oh, I've actually been
I think
told
I've
some
done
lower
that.
standard stuff from men.
I think I've done
I'm
that.
really big on communication.
Like, I
Like,
don't date dark skins.
Yeah, all the time. I never dated any dark skinned girl. I didn't
No,
used to
I'm
like
big on
dark
that.
skinned girls. You're the first black girl I've ever dated.
see, my response to that is, but you're here and you keep coming back. So it must be
My
something.
response is that don't make
Now,
me feel special,
it's-
bro. I'm still
If
cute.
I begin to feel like I'm more of a project or an experiment, then I'm good. But I don't know. You're here for a reason. So what is it? I don't know. I'm big on communication. So tell me and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dissect it. Either we agree to disagree or we agree and we're gonna move forward. Either way, let's talk about it so I understand where you're going and where you're at, and you understand where I'm going and where I'm at. That's how we're gonna build together or apart, either way.
Ooh, they better do their research.
So I'm here for it. Tell me.
I mean,
I don't think it's necessary to be told. Like, I mean, if you tell me, cool, but if you don't, that's cool too, because you're here and you're here for a reason. So, I mean, if you decide that you want to lower your standards to be with me, then so be it. That's on you, bro.
That's a you problem. Don't
Yeah.
tell me as if you're
Just no.
giving me a compliment. You're not complimenting me. Oh, that's great. You picked the best of the worst.
No, I don't think you should. I don't look at it as they're complimenting me or anything. Like to me, it's just,
So hold on. So I can do some technical stuff. Rico want to be mic'd in. We micing him in.
sure.
You don't even
Who
know
is
who Mike
Rico?
is either.
You
Did
know
you
who Rico
tell people?
Suave is.
hey Rico,
All right, continue. Sorry, Ray.
can you mic someone in?
I never knew that was a thing.
Can you mic me in?
You
You are
in,
my friend.
baby.
Yeah,
Come
you're in
on. We
already.
got people watching.
Hey y'all.
This is just us authentically.
Ah,
You know, this is us. We should be a show.
Lord.
Follow us, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
This is not no YouTube channel.
Whatever.
We'll
Think
put the
different.
link somewhere down below
Make sure to hit that button.
and subscribe with the bell because we're gonna.
Oh, we
What's
got
up?
Rico Suave on.
What's
What
it?
up?
What's it?
There we
YouTube?
go.
Tell me.
Catfish
Hey,
camera.
ladies, how do you
Go
doing?
ahead.
What you gotta say?
Hey, so I get what you're saying, but just from I guess a male's perspective, it's more along the lines of, like I said in the text, it's a likable factor. There's a difference between love and being in love with somebody. There's a difference between expectations and standards. When you love someone, you can have expectations or standards. When you're in love with someone, you're accepting them for all their indifferences.
Hmm.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't disagree.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that either.
The problem is trying to navigate and find those things in a partner in today's society.
Say it again.
I
I
don't
said
disagree
the I
with that.
said the problem is navigating and finding that in people in today's society.
Finding what your non-negotiables are in a person so you can be in love with them.
Basically, yeah, in a nutshell.
I totally agree with that.
I don't, because excuse
Okay.
me, I don't think.
I knew you wasn't going to agree with it. Go ahead.
Well, whatever. Um, because I don't think that y'all want me to be honest.
Yes.
I don't think that
No,
the
I
person
totally.
that fits all of my standards is going to be naturally a person that I'm in love with.
Why?
So, what do you make a decision on which one is more important, being in love or someone fitting your standards? Because you're not going to have both,
Somebody fitting my standards.
and that's a business. That's not romance and
That's what
emotion.
marriage is.
No,
No,
it's
I don't
not.
want that.
That's what you make marriage. That's what
That's
you
what
make
marriage
marriage.
is. It's you're the one that said marriage was contractual.
I said marriage is contractual. Yeah, but marriage is only contractual based on what you guys were talking about. Marriage was not designed by God to be contractual. It was supposed to depict 1 Corinthians 13 in the Bible and
Mhm.
all the descriptions of what it says love is. It does not mean that it is a contract. Contracts can be broken. I don't want to sign a contract with a woman that she has to love me based on the contract terms. And if the contract fails, I have to now fire her or we break our contract and go our separate ways. I don't want that.
Love does not equal marriage.
It does if you want it to.
It does if you wanted to, but by definition,
By
love
definition,
is
it
not
does.
equal marriage. When you look up the definition of marriage, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have the word love in it.
When you look up the definition in 1 Corinthians 13, when it describes
When
love,
we
it
talk
does.
about the definitions in 1 Corinthians 13, we talk about the Webster Dictionary, and in the dictionary, the word love and marriage, they don't.
I understand that,
A
but
million Webster for that.
you basing your resources off a book that a man made. I'm basing
Oh,
something off of what God made.
God, thank
What?
you for joining us.
Oh,
Because now we gonna exit you on this conversation. You on the
I
chopping
mean,
block.
I hear what he's saying. Like, I mean, I get it. I think I agree more so with like, I don't want my marriage to be a contract only. Like, I don't want my marriage to be like just contractual or whatever. Like, I want to have fun and I want to do life with my person, right? Um, but I also recognize that there is a business aspect to it, and I think you just have to be really, really intentional. If you desire this type of relationship, this type of marriage, if you choose marriage, you have to be very intentional about like making sure that you're prioritizing and nurturing the love, because that can easily get lost in all of the business that is a relationship, right? Like when you start to build with your person.
So I think this is what I'm saying though. So if I were to marry somebody that fit all of my standards, I said I don't think that I would be in love with that person. So that goes back to the question, should we lower our standards to find a life partner? The answer for me would be yes. I need to lower my standards to find my life partner because I want this guy who's up here, but I'm probably not going to be happy with him. Right. And so maybe I need to think about it's okay if he's not yet emotionally aware. Maybe we have to do therapy together. Maybe I have to suggest therapy too because he doesn't know about it yet. Right. Like
he got to go to therapy already, Kay.
What?
I said he got to go to therapy already. I mean, man,
No,
no.
what I'm saying is people are people, right? And sometimes people don't know things until they're introduced. Me and Lynn was having this conversation the other day. Sometimes people don't know things until you introduce them to them, right? Like it doesn't mean that they've been in a space where they were able to be given the same information you were given, right? So we know about therapy. That doesn't mean that the person that you meet will know about therapy. They might come into therapy after they meet you, and now they're this emotionally aware person, right? They might not be financially stable because of traumatic experience, but they meet you, and now they become a financially stable person because you're able to teach them some things. That's what I'm saying.
10-4.
I'm gonna swing this
But I
all the way
mean,
back
you
around.
can want them to be perfect when you meet them, but more than likely they won't be perfect when you meet them. You're going to have to compromise. That's
I
just
think
reality.
nobody's going to be perfect, but that's why we have to know the difference between love and in love. Love can grow to being in love, but then you guys get to talking about love and marriage, and we're talking about life partners and standards. I think you will, if you find somebody with your standards. This is my opinion. I think you will be in love with them. I think that's, well, maybe I'm basing your opinion off of my definition, because if somebody meets my standards, absolutely I'm going to be in love with them. And yes,
What
our
are your
marriage still will
standards?
have that business base to it, because that's sustainability of life. But that's also a part of my standards, is that you're able to sustain life with me in a sustainable way. So you have to have that. We have to be business partners in the sector. But it's just like how men say they want a woman. Wait, they want a woman in the streets, and y'all know that saying.
It's a woman in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Thank you, sir. Like,
I'm
you
so
gotta,
sorry, what
it's
happened?
the duality of both. I have to have the business partner and the friend.
So there's a balance that you need in order for something to be successful. It's moderation.
Right. So
Yeah.
going back to the
And I
question,
can't lower my
should the
standards to get
person
that.
lower their standards to find a life partner? Are you willing to accept things that are on your non-negotiable list, like we were talking about earlier, to find your life partner?
Yes, I would, me personally, and I'm gonna tell you why. I would lower those standards. I would lower those expectations because no one's made perfect. You're
So
not
I
gonna
said
get.
that
You're
it was
not.
wrong.
You're not gonna get everything you want out of a
I'm about
person.
to exit you out
Okay.
this conversation.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Hold on. Listen. Hold on. And then the grand scheme of it is you shouldn't have standards and expectations in certain parts of emotion. They don't coincide. It's like trying to mix oil and water. You can't have. That's like trying to have a romantic relationship with a business partner. You're not going to know the differentiation, the drawing the line, the blurring of the line, the color going into black and white. It has to be some type of structure to it. I'm not going to fall in love with my business partner and then I have to send her a memo on when we're going to have sex. Not. I mean, I'm just giving an example, but I'm just saying it feels awkward not to have that intoxication, not to have that presence of emotion, that love, that undying connection. Because you know what? I'm gonna guarantee you this: if I meet a woman and she ain't got my standards, I can build her up together while she builds me up, and she can meet the goals that she wants and the ones I want. Because if that's heaven sent, that's God for me. What's for me is for me. That's gonna work out.
Right. So black men should definitely lower their standards, but women, absolutely not.
I don't think most black. Hold on a second. I don't think most black men have standards in the first
Oh,
place.
yes,
Oh
they
no, I don't think that's
do.
true at
No,
all.
I said no. Listen, I said
I
Yes,
don't
they
think that's
most.
true
do.
at
I
all.
I've
said
learned my
most.
standards
I
from black
said
men.
most.
I
I
still
said I don't think most black men have
I don't
standards
agree
to
with that.
lower.
I still disagree.
I think
Okay,
that
well,
most
I think I got a
men,
foothold on it better than
period,
you do.
black, white, Asian, Hispanic, have standards, and they do not bend on them most
Hold on
times.
a second. Okay, let me call you out on your bluff right now. All right.
Who?
Okay, so first of all, I'm
Don't say my
100%.
name.
Oh, sir,
I'm a,
we
I'm a,
have not hounded.
Don't
Don't
say
make
my
us double
business.
team
I
you.
got the
no,
better
I'm not going. I'm
button.
not going to tell your business. But I'm telling my
Okay.
business. I'm 100% Cuban.
Hmm.
100%. My mother and father are from Cuba. I'm first generation American. And I believe in love more than I do standards. And if it meant for me to lower it, I would. I have a master's degree. I got my own company and I got a career. So I'm just saying, I would come across a woman that has a high school diploma if she has ambition and I can trust her and she can love me and be there for me for the long haul rather than me
Okay.
go date a woman that has a doctorate and she ain't there for me.
She ain't got time to be there for you, bro.
But
Yeah,
that's not
then
what you said. What you said
Like,
was you don't think that most men have standards, and that's where we was at. We
I
shifted,
said black men. That's what I said.
and I don't agree.
I don't
I
think so.
guess I,
you can't talk as a black man 100% Cuban, I know.
I
Jesus Christ.
understand that, but I
Lord have mercy.
but I can talk as a man, and
Is
my
this a
circle
Cubano?
and my circle is men that I deal with that are financially stable and have success and they have standards and expectations. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they'll give it up for a good woman in a minute.
You
But that
just
doesn't mean you
said, but
don't have
that's it.
But
Men
standards.
should
what
definitely
is how
lower
do you
their
define
standards.
standards and expectations? That I
Okay,
guess
so
that's what's really
expectation.
frustrating to me.
Okay, so
Like what is it?
expectation. Okay, expectations are things that are undenable. Standards are, to me, this is my personal opinion. Expectations are things that are unbendable. I expect you to care about me. I expect you to love me. My standard is that you always respect me and be loyal to me. I don't need your love, but I do need your respect and your loyalty. And most men in this world want respect and loyalty over love. Love
That's
comes and
true,
goes. It's an
Akita.
emotion. Love comes and goes. It's an emotion. You can be mad. A woman is built on emotion. You can love me on Monday and Tuesday. I could have not took out the garbage. Now you just hate me. But if you respect me and be loyal to me, it don't matter if I take that garbage out or not. You still gonna be by my side.
I'm trying to
No,
figure
that's not true.
because
Yes,
I
it
don't.
is.
Your non-negotiables are respect.
Okay.
Your expectation is bendable. Yeah. Am I on mute? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what you said?
I didn't hear you. You broke up. I was turning my phone. I'm sorry.
It's all good. So your standards are is you're saying that your standard is the respect.
Negotiables. Yeah, my standards is respect and loyalty.
That's a
Those are
non-negotiable.
things.
That's a
That's a
non-negotiable,
non-negotiable.
right?
Exactly.
And your expectations are the negotiable things. Yeah,
Yes.
I respect that. I'll take it.
But that ain't what we was talking about. We was talking about this. Men do not compromise and lower their standards.
That's
You want to
accepted
keep
definition.
steering
Like,
away
what,
from what
what
we're
that
talking
was even
about.
opinion.
You said
Whoa.
men don't have standards.
They
Laquita
don't.
said
They
men
don't have
do
standards in which you guys are talk. You got. Okay, so let me rephrase it then, so it can be transparently clear. Men that have standards or expectations will throw them out of the window in a heartbeat. All the men that I know, and I have a foothold on men because I deal with them. I know them behind the closed doors and what we talk about.
You should
Okay,
try dating one.
okay. You know what? I was about to say something to you.
Okay,
I was
Paul.
about to say something to you because
I'm
first thing
just
come out my
saying.
the first thing was gonna come out my mouth was your mama, but I met her.
Because
She a
here's
nice
the
lady.
thing. Like
Man,
what we all know that what we tell our friends is different from how we act in relationships, right? So even with even us as homegirls, like I'm tell her, like, yeah, girl, I'm not answering the phone for him. He blocked. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm over here texting them at the same time I'm telling them that, right? So we don't be honest. Justin's on here, he says this all the time. We don't be honest with each other as friends.
That's a
So
woman
your homeboys
characteristic,
ain't
not a
telling you the
man
truth.
characteristic.
Your
No,
homeboy
men
is not telling you the truth. Is the moral of the story.
men do it too.
no, maybe they just lie to us until they homeboys.
No. Men. When we don't, when we don't want to be bothered with you, we don't want to be bothered with you, like dead ass.
And if you don't meet their standards, they don't want to be bothered with you.
But they
They
will
might
give it.
be
They
bothered
will
with you.
give
It might
in.
not be for the same reason that you bothered with them.
But they will give in. A
I
man will
agree with
give
that.
in. A man will give in to a woman where a woman will not give in to a man with her standards and expectations. That's just the truth of the matter.
I
Now, if
do
you want me to pull
And
some
then 5
statistics, I can
years
pull you some
later, they would grow
statistics.
into resentment, and then that's where we got all these, cheating stories and whatnot kids because of all this. Men will do that. They'll push down all that stuff and be like, "I'm doing this to be with her," or "Man, she had a fat." You
But
know what? Then you find out 5 years later, man, I done hit my wits end with Shawty. I lowered my standards and now I can't stand this girl. What I'm gonna do now?
I do think that men will throw their standards out the window for a certain amount of time. I agree with
We're
Lynn
all
on
in
that.
agreement on that, yeah. Let's touch and agree. Mhm.
But
Well, depending on the love, I think if it's
we're
love
talking about
there,
love.
and if it's love there, if there's a connection there, those
I think
standards will
it
never
takes love.
matter.
I
They will
think it,
never matter.
I don't think it takes love because I think if people in general might throw their standards out at the beginning and there's no love there.
Well,
are they saying
that is an act of love in itself. Love is that the terminology "love is blind" is very real. So the fact that you're throwing them out with the expectation to be in love with a person. No one goes into a person. That's why they call it dating with a purpose. I don't know too many people in this world that's educated and have a mental stability about themselves that says, "Oh, I'm just gonna fuck around with this person just for kicks and giggles." No, you're using your time, your energy, your effort. This things you can't get back. So when I date you, I'm dating you with a purpose. It is always going to be a purpose. It is purpose driven because I'm a purpose driven
That's
man.
so nice
Most
that you
people are
like
that way. I,
that.
I, Stop it.
No, I'm serious. Like, it's really nice. That's not no sarcasm. It's really nice that you are purpose driven. Most people are not purpose driven. Most people don't even know what their purpose is. So, but that's a whole nother conversation.
But there's a lot of men like me, and just based on your topic, because we just keep coming from your topic. I guess that's why you keep putting this message on my screen. So basically, what it is expectations and standards to me will be thrown away from a male's perspective. From a woman's perspective, I can't speak to that accountability other than things that I've actually been into. Has there been women in my life that I feel have lowered their standards for me? Yeah. Did they take a L on it? Hell no. Because I met them
Says
and
you.
they gave me something. No, says them, because the Bible says, "Let your neighbor be your judge."
Come
So,
on.
so
They're not here to say that, so you
So-
can't say that part.
okay. So here, I can give you some numbers. I'll put them in the group. I ain't got no.
No.
Give us numbers.
Okay, so but here, this is what. But this is what I'm just saying though. Love to some people is more important than standards and expectations. At the end of the day, I think male and females should literally not pay so much attention to their standards and their expectations, but everything has a groundwork in which it operates from. And whatever you start building on, whatever energy you put into it, is what you're going to typically get back if you're doing it the right way with the right person. And that's where discernment comes into play.
Amen.
That was cute. Thank you for joining us.
Good
You're
job, Rico
welcome.
Suave.
Pray
My
over
lunch
our
is over too.
discernment, Rico Suave. That's good.
Appreciate you.
And on that note,
No.
On that note,
Damn, you keep missing. He said he keep missing out. I don't know what he's talking about. He keep missing out.
I'm also
But some of the
saying,
comments that we missed was Talisha said you don't have to lower your standards when love overrides that. If someone that understands you and willing to, someone is understands you and willing to change, you'll have a lover and a life partner marriage.
I think that's all I've been trying to say this entire time. I think I get caught up on like definitions and like how everything is very specific to the individual person. And I think that my standards and expectations for the person who I choose to be my life partner or husband are going to be, I won't have to lower, I guess, anything, right? Because that's going to be, I don't know, I guess that's what my non-negotiables are. And I just try to be really realistic with myself and recognize that my non-negotiables are extremely rigid. And if for some girl, what is going on? My non-negotiables at this point are very rigid, and I'm not gonna bet on them.
I think that we like to like play on words, right? Because that's what we've
Yeah.
been doing this whole conversation is play on words. Compromise, settle, lower standards, non-negotiable by definition all mean the same thing, y'all. They
I know.
literally all mean the same thing. And so it don't matter if you say non-negotiables or lower your standards, it's the same thing. So
I
are
believe
you
you
gonna
led
do it or
with
not?
that. I believe you
That's
led
the
with that.
question. Huh?
I said I believe you led with that when you talked about how you seen this, you asked your question on social media, and then you went and looked up every word, and it all meant the same thing. Yeah.
It just means the same thing. So we keep playing on words like to say like, no, I'm not going to lower my standards, but I'm going to have my non-negotiables. It means the same thing. It's just a cuter way of saying it.
I agree. I think it'd be really fun to have like a married person on here to just kind of share like a marriage perspective. Not that that's going to happen anytime soon tonight because, well, we're winding down, but that would have been a cool perspective.
What do happily married people have to say? Almost each one I know, age range 30 to 70, say it's 80% what you want and 20% of what you're willing to deal with. But again, that doesn't have to do with lowering your standards. Like that's true, but like, will they say? My question is like, will they say I lowered my standards? Will they say, I guess what he's saying is they have to compromise, which means, yes, they may have lowered their standards. They may have accepted some non-negotiables. They may have compromised. They may have settled.
And it might be something that's smaller. It might be something that's not even like a really big deal. It might be something about height. It could be like snoring at night. It could be like making 60K versus 80K. It just depends.
Yeah.
But those
It's
are
not a
like
black and white issue.
they're black and white issues. I think I don't like the standards. I will call it standards, but it's more of like, who are you? What can we do? I don't really like the idea of like, I'm gonna get with you because you're meeting my standard, whatever these tangible standards are. Like that's my issue with the whole idea of everything. Because when we say standards or compromise or settle, we put it on tangible things when it's really like, can you deal with my attitude on Mondays after I stubbed my toe and the person yelled at me across the street? Can you deal with me then? That's the standard. So I think it's good that we're saying all of these definitions, because that's the issue with us picking partners. We all have different definitions. We all have different perspectives, and not getting those on the same page is what's the problem. Because it's like, you get a man that's good on paper, that's a standard, but your standard probably was, I wanted a man that takes care of me. So this good on paper man has the means to do it, but he take care of you. So
Okay, so Van asked us a question. He said, are you ladies, talking about us, willing to work with someone who doesn't meet your standards? Now, I want to be clear on the original question, y'all. And the original question was, should black women, we talking about black women, lower their standards for a life partner? Ain't nobody said nothing about marriage. I don't even know how that got in the conversation. We're talking about a life partner, because everybody's preference is not marriage. So for a life partner, male, female, indifferent, whatever you feel is for you. Are you willing to lower your standards? Who want to go first? Lynn,
No.
since you shook your head.
that was
I
my
think
answer. No.
I think I'm willing to be open to that's hard. Initially I want to say no, but I don't think it's that black and white. I think I'm open to someone who is different from what I thought that I wanted, who may not meet the expectation or standard of what I thought that was what was supposed to be my life partner, like what I thought they were supposed to look like. Um, so it's sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
You saying maybe?
It's a hard maybe for me.
It's a hard.
I'm gonna say yes. What's the question? Will I lower my standards? Yes. But there's a but. The person has to be open-minded to adjustments. So like, I'm gonna keep saying emotionally aware, because that's a big one right now for me. If the person is not emotionally aware, but is aware that they need to be emotionally aware, then we cooking how you say it?
So no.
We're cooking with grits here.
We,
I
Is
don't
that
know.
what you
Go
say?
with
I
hot
was gonna say
water.
cooking with grease.
I don't know the standards. I don't make them up.
Yeah, we cooking with grease, right? Like we on our way, right? But if the person is like emotionally unaware and they don't even realize that they are like emotionally unaware, nor do they care that they need to regulate their emotions, you got a problem, Dot. Like, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take. Yes, but
That's horrible.
Okay, Ray.
Not your response, like someone
Oh.
who's like not like someone who's not even aware of their emotional dysregulation. That stuff is dangerous.
well, see, a lot of people are not.
You said what?
A lot of people are not.
To me, that's dangerous. I would not want to interact with someone in that way. And I think
Interact with
that's a
people
different.
every day who's not aware.
I know I do. That's why I have a different, unique perspective, and so that's why that's
No,
such a big deal for me.
I'm not talking about at your job. When you walk outside that job, that first lady you talk to is not aware where she is emotionally.
Girl, I'm talking about like someone who I let into my inner circle.
Half of them don't know where they at emotionally at either. That's what I'm talking about. We're saying one and the same. I know you deal with knowing they're mentally ill people, but there's a lot of unknowingly mentally ill people walking this earth too.
Then they dangerous.
Yes,
ain't
I
letting
just
nobody
said
in.
being in a relationship is super dangerous. That's one of the components.
That's what she said.
All
Okay,
right,
let Ray
we
say
can
her
move on. I'm done.
because they'll do that all night.
Just I'm done with these
Um,
folks.
Come on, Ray. Cook with grits. Let's go.
Cooking for grits. For me, I don't. It's a hard no for me. I've been in a situation where I was willing to accept you where you are and then hope and pray or even deal with the person that was open for the better or the more or the difference. I don't want to do that anymore. It's a no.
But that's not that fight that you was talking about earlier. Remember?
I don't want to fight anymore. I don't. I'm not gonna lower my standards. You come with it or you don't. And that's just it.
That's it, y'all.
Period.
Okay, so Kier said, Kier, we talked about you earlier. You missed it. But
What up,
Kier
Kier?
said, shout out to HU. That's what I said. Shout out to HU, KCA. Rather the question about lowering our standards, what are we, men and women, doing to prepare ourselves to be or prepare ourselves for a life partner? So basically, I read this and I could be reading it wrong. Is do you meet your own standards?
Mm-hmm.
That is some serious self work because for a while I did not, and it took me going through some stuff to recognize that I was a big part of the problem and that I needed to take a look at myself in the mirror and make some changes. Because if I want to be the wife that I want to be and have a life partner who is amazing, then I need to do some self work.
I need
I don't know if I answered.
regulate.
I
Yeah, no,
needed to
I was the
emotionally
problem.
regulate.
I was the problem. The
Yep.
absolute. It was me, all me, all me.
It
But
wasn't on me.
I wasn't emotionally mature enough or mentally aware enough to know that I was the problem. I thought it was everybody else.
That part. Yep.
I didn't know, so I was dating as if everybody was the problem, but
Yep.
it was me.
Mm-hmm.
I think to answer the question, what was the question? To answer the question, nope, that ain't it.
What are we
What
doing?
are we doing though?
What are we doing? So application that can look like preparing yourself financially. That can be going to therapy. We can't hear you, Kay.
I said, come on, application.
That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah, going to therapy or like I
No,
said,
what are we doing though?
what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to therapy. I'm working on my financials.
Mhm.
I'm writing down plans and goals step by step, month by month on what I would need to take place in order for me to be who I want to be when he comes.
I love that. Yes, girl. Because I feel very strongly about this.
Mhm.
I am prioritizing myself and nobody else. I have always prioritized everybody else, and I would always put myself on the back burner. No more. Nope, we're done.
And I think that's like super important because I've met guys that are like, oh, I like who you are. I like how you carry yourself. I like what you do, this, that, and the third. And then the moment I start to like them, I'm like, you. And they might still have liked me. I don't know. But then I start to like me less because I'm more focused on you and I don't know who I am anymore.
Ooh.
So it's really important to put yourself first and keep yourself first because 9 times out of 10, they like you for being that person. And you lose that. That makes sense,
You
y'all.
turn into somebody you don't even recognize. Neither of you recognize.
That's a fact.
also, if you're going off somebody's insecurity like that too, because that's the insecurity will ruin you and the person you trying to lift up. You can't lift up anybody else. Like, I think to bring up Will and Jada, I don't know if they're the perfect example right now, but I'm still bringing them up. But you can't make your partner happy, and I think we get lost in that, and that's Disney to me too.
Oh, for sure. You can't make anybody
You
happy.
can't make your partner happy. You can't make them secure. If they're insecure with something, you can try it, but it never works out.
I tell people on my mentor calls all the time. I know they be sick of me saying it, but put your mask on first. Is like,
Oh, that's good.
take care of yourself before your kids and your man, so that you can be a better partner, a better parent, a better coworker. Like, put your mask on first. That's what we don't do. But to like answer the question, what am I doing to be a better life partner? Being single. Like learning how to be okay with my singleness, learning how to be alone but not lonely. Learning that it's cool if I'm 32 with no man, no kids. Like that's perfectly fine. You'll be fine. If you have kids at 45, you won't die. It's all good, right? So just trying to put myself in a better headspace for myself to putting my mask on first, basically. Chelsea.
I already said mine.
Oh, you did? Did I miss it?
I mean, mine is essentially like I'm putting myself first. Like I am prioritizing myself first. I could easily make time for people. I can bend and move my schedule around so I can fit a man into my life. But realistically, I need to make sure I'm always taking care of myself. I need to make sure I'm going to therapy. I need to go to the gym. I need to meal prep. I need to talk to my friends. I need to see my family. I will not bend on me anymore.
And you said like making time, like that stood out to me because I don't have time. Like I got homework, I got regular work, I got nonprofit, I got this, I got that. I got to hang out with y'all. Like I'm overloaded. And so anything that I'm giving a man at this point is literally like trash. It's like compost. It's like I'm adding no value. I'm no good to you. We arguing all the time. You're always in your feelings. And I can't stand. We're not gonna go there. Never mind. But yeah, I don't have time.
So what y'all saying is no, Black women should not lower their standards because you're not lowering your standards for yourself.
I like that.
Nope.
I'm not. Yep, I like that. I love the comments. I really appreciate the engagement tonight, y'all. Just everybody commenting, and it seems like really people are really into it. I just really appreciate it.
I can't see them because I'm 807, but
I'll keep reading the comments because Laquita said something. Let me see what Laquita said. I would say no because my standards are not. Huh?
Oh, sorry, I was
read her name.
Oh, my standards are not tangible. My standards are. Where we at? Oh, my standards are more so about the character and essence of a man. Standards exist for a reason, and sometimes they change as we evolve. That part. My standards at 20, what standards? LOL. Versus my standards at 30 are completely different, and that is so true.
Yep, I agree.
Like your standards definitely. I think somebody on Instagram said that yesterday. Like your standards should change every year, and they should be according to where you are in life. So yeah, that's very good. And I like the part where she said, my standards are not tangible. Not standards are not tangible, but my standards are not tangible. Because it's okay if somebody decides that they want their standards to be tangible. That's their business. Good luck finding a 6'3" chocolate, 250 pounds with a bald head, no kids, and never been married. Good luck.
And a good person.
Be doing the rain dance. Oh,
yes.
With the gray beard, though.
Ooh, like a salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Yeah.
I don't like the salt and pepper.
Shows no salt and pepper.
No.
With the ball and the chocolate. You should.
Like the my type is kind of changing a little bit. We'll talk offline about this, guys.
Right.
That's funny.
Hey, don't be putting my business on here.
What?
Put my business on here. He said.
You stood him up.
Hey, Van.
I did not. That is not true. Let me see what.
Thanks for the support, man.
We moved on. It is really important to first know that you are all right with being yourself and alone and not lonely. Then if you find yourself coming out of a bad relationship, you can handle it, keep it moving without breaking down. Your standards are for you, not someone else. And that's a married woman saying that.
Come on now, Miss Chris.
Okay. Let's come up with snaps on that.
Very good. And I think that's really good because a lot of times, like when you're not aware of like you, and you break up with somebody, you're lost.
Oh, in the sauce. Yes, that's good.
Like you trying to figure out where am I gonna live? Like
how am I going to survive without this person?
Y'all want men,
that's right.
but people want men to like take care of them. But what happens if he divorced you?
I don't even know if it's like people want men to take care of them. I think I feel like it's like more of this is a deeper conversation about like codependent relationships, right? And
Mhm.
how like you exist for pleasing a person and not wanting to like rock the boat or make them bad because you are so afraid of rejection and abandonment, right? Like I
People
think it gets
pleasing.
it's not necessarily for that person. It's like you just don't know who you are without this enmeshed relationship that you have with this person, you know?
Yeah, but that's different than like the woman who is looking for a man to take care of them because they don't want to work. That's completely different.
Certainly.
Um,
Mm-mm.
but also like I think that's when a codependent relationship develops. Like, because now I can't afford to lose him. Like, if I lose, it's kind of like the sis that divorced her husband thinking she was about to get paid, but he put all the money in his mama name.
Ooh, wait.
Hurt, man. I mean, that was horrible for her.
Like his wife, she
That was
was
dumb for her because she should have known what was going on anyways. Like, you're married. You don't know what's in your man's. What's
She
going on
divorced him.
here?
80% of his finances and assets
Good
were
for
in his
him.
mom's name.
Good for him. Because what?
Yeah.
What are we
Because she
doing?
put the wrong reasons.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, good for him. That's thinking smarter, not harder. The heck? He knew who he married.
They said got everything in my
Mama
mind.
name. That's wild.
Yep, that's messed up. I think that when women talk about a man taking care of them, lots of it's based on something they heard someone else say that's what they want or what they have.
Disney.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't like the standard thing, because we base standards off what society told us. Like he needs to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, but what if he paid and he don't want to pay you? Then you just out here
Selfish with his money.
right? But you got him. He paid. I did the standard.
He's paid, but
Not generous.
nah. Oh man, can you say something? In class, you were saying if your expenses are more than your income, you really ain't paid though. You just
Your net worth is off. You don't have no
about their taxes, about they.
You just look like
how much is you worth? Right?
Real
like how much debt do you got? He cute. He got 4 houses, 7 cars,
4 kids, bro.
4 kids on child support.
But you on child support.
Never paid his taxes, so he owes IRS. Like, yeah, he could be paid, but there's so many other things that could possibly come with that.
Mm-hmm.
You might be better off dating the man making $50,000 who owes nobody, has great credit, is working toward home ownership. Like that's when you start lowering your standards, sis. Like if your standard is money, that's how you lower it. Because I mean, just because he makes 6 figures, he might have a lot of debt, and he still don't make 6 figures at that point.
See, then that's when you need to know what your standards are, because maybe it's not money; it's you need somebody who's able and willing to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Get your standards defined correctly and right.
Get your standards defined, and then also like understand like why you want someone who has 6 figures, because it just sounds cute. Like, I make 6 figures sounds a little cute, right?
It sounds cute,
but is it really cute? I mean, when you add in all them extra factors, the taxes, what is your debt to income ratio? Like all that stuff matters. But if you don't even understand, if you're not educated enough to know those things, then maybe take a step back to understand your why and dig into what income really means to you and what you want it to mean for your person before you just start setting out expectations.
What if it is because she don't know what all that stuff y'all just said means?
That's what I'm saying. Like you need to educate
find out when
yourself.
she marry him and get pulled right on into it when she filed her taxes
on a podcast. Some
people get with well-educated people to learn. Like my cheat is, I hope is, I get with somebody who knows a lot about religion, so I don't have to go through each and every religious book there is out there, because my OCD in my head is to learn stuff, so I'm gonna want to do that. But if I meet somebody who already did it, that's the hack, bro. That's the hack. I don't have to read the Quran. He read it already.
So is that what Aramis is saying here? You got potential.
You should have lowered
I knew you was gonna sing. Come on now, song.
I like
I ain't gonna sing that whole song, but y'all know I know it. Okay.
I don't know
it. That's
that
always
read it
a
out loud.
possibility. Oh,
You
no, I
shouldn't
ain't
lower
really
your
feeling
standards
that.
for anything or anyone, but who's to say a person can't grow into your standards? You can see potential in a person, not lower your standards. I think one of us said that earlier today. Like, I can't remember who said it, but like, I think it was Unique. Well, like wanting to be with someone who you can learn from, right?
I just literally said that. Oh
shoot, I did say the wrong name. Oh, Lynn. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
My bad,
okay.
Lynn. Her name is Lynn.
Okay. It's okay.
I think we tired, y'all.
No, that's just an insider.
Okay, I'm a little tired.
Wow.
Say or think their standards have been lowered. Questions get to know.
I think it's okay to let people grow into your standards, but that's where we get into these names of compromising and settlement and all that stuff. If you're going, it's a decision. If you decide to lower your standards, you need to continue to make that decision and not let it get to be something that you resent 5 years down the road and you're like, oh man, I knew I shouldn't have got with your dumb self. Oh, you still ain't got smarter.
Everybody is saying, except me. No, I'm just kidding. We all saying the same thing. Like, choose love. Like, just choose to.
I ain't say that.
Lynn, now you didn't say choose love.
Nah, I'm saying love everybody regardless. I'm saying don't lower your standards and define them. Find what they are, but do not lower them. Love everybody. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
is that it?
I don't know. I don't know. I think you got to be a little flexible with people out here, but you know. So do you think, okay, this is the last question. Do you think that somebody is going to meet every standard on your list? They're going to check every single box.
No, I think that's where you have to be. Like, that's why I say like my non-negotiables are rigid, right? Like they're very, girl. Okay. Sorry. She playing with the computer. I feel like there's a short list of things that I will not bend on. Like I cannot bend on, right? As what is his name? Rico Suave said though, like when we were mincing words between like expectations and standards or whatever have you. My expectations might be, you know, he got ABC, yada, yada, yada. He may not meet all my expectations, but that's okay because he meets my core non-negotiables. Did that make sense?
Yeah, so you're not lowering your standards. Mm-hmm. Your non-negotiables equal your standards. And you said they're rigid, right. So they're non-moving.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, you're right.
Okay, so people keep bringing up the word compromise.
I don't know. My daddy told me not to compromise.
I'm gonna help y'all. I'm help y'all.
You about to pull up a dictionary definition?
I am. It says, accept standards that are lower than is desirable. Mm-hmm. By definition, it means the same thing.
My daddy said don't compromise. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So what is life without compromise? I really like that statement though, because
a life that's fine. Period. That's what it is.
Like that's not realistic. Like realistically, you're gonna have to compromise in life. Period. Doesn't matter what it is. Like you have to compromise. You have to shift. You have to move forward. Like I mean, I wanted to be a medical doctor. Here I am, not a medical doctor. Right? Compromise. I want a BBL. Here I am, flat booty. Compromise. Okay?
That's the most dangerous surgery in like the world. Are you sure?
But they got y'all seen them skinny BBLs. Just Hilarious has one. Flat tummy, big booty, still skinny, right? Compromise is go to the gym, sis. You gotta compromise in life. I totally agree with Ernest.
I don't.
You don't agree that you should
You don't
compromise,
think that
though?
you have?
In
Tell
what way? You've never compromised?
Please tell us the secret.
Let me
I don't
know.
know the secret other than set your boundaries. I mean,
That's
is
what
that
it
the
is.
secret?
That's your boundaries. Yeah, I agree.
No. Which
So
I
you,
said what I said, and I'm standing on it. No,
Justin want to know what's the example of one of your standards, Ray.
he did not ask me that.
He did say that right here.
What's an example of it?
One of you, I chose you. Go.
You the chosen
Let's
one.
say you have to have a relationship with God, an
I
act of,
love that.
and that's what it is.
But see, that's one of those play on words, non-negotiables. Like that's on period.
Which
Like,
is your standard?
Yeah, but what I mean, it's an active relationship, right? Some people will say, "Oh, I believe in God." That's their relationship. No. You don't fit the bill. Or I pray, but in reality, you only pray. Your praying is you wishing on a star. You don't fit.
Girl, I'm about to
I'm
catch the
not
Holy Ghost. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So no.
Yes. Amen.
There's your answer for
what's
that.
one for you, Nick? Lance?
Same one. And not bending.
Come on, let her go.
Rocking in a non-rocking chair.
You guys say a different one.
No, I don't. And that's my standard. Boom.
Ooh,
All right, Chels.
what's one of my standards? I don't know. I tend to be like really hung up on like emotional awareness. Like that's a really big freaking deal to me.
I knew I was gonna say that one.
Yeah, like you gotta have some sense of self and recognize like when you're angry or like you're feeling a big emotion, like what do you do with it? Do you like lash out and punch the wall or people or
Oh no.
or sometimes people will do that, right? Kick plants over.
Kick
The plant do.
You're
Over here
tripping.
salting plants and stuff.
You're tripping.
Aw.
Chelsea.
Nobody knew but me.
Now everybody know.
Nobody still knows what we're talking about. But
Like you
nonetheless.
doing stuff for no reason if you kicking plants over.
But I'm saying though, like, but sometimes
What's
people don't
that,
really
like,
understand.
boys in the hood? We just like,
Sometimes people don't understand their.
Y'all, okay. Now y'all, that really happened to me. Like somebody left my house and I had a plant. It was cute and it had not been potted yet. I was gonna pot it the next day, and this ninja left my house and kicked my plant across the yard.
not the plant.
When she told me that,
He's
I'm like, he ain't the one.
He is violent against this
He ain't
earth.
the
That's
one.
the worst. I'd have rather him kick
Chelsea
hit
said,
a random
"Bam."
person. Like, what?
So that's what happened. That's the plant story. Y'all stay telling my business. Go on, Chelsea.
Girl, that's it. That's all I got.
I didn't even know
awareness.
that story. Why?
Yes, you did.
She was on the phone with me, I think, right after it
That's
happened.
Slimy baby poo poo pants.
Oh, that makes sense. It's too many of them.
Temper tantrum.
So I think that one of mine, since Chelsea took emotionally aware, that is when I put that standard into play, by the way, is when I realized how emotionally unaware that person was. Or emotionally dysregulated, whatever. But one of mine is, okay, I'm gonna be petty for the girls in the back. You gotta have a car and you have to have a license. They come
License. You have to have a license. Non-negotiable.
License, and you have to be an active member of society, meaning you need to be paying your taxes. You need to be you pay your tickets. You have to be an active member.
You gotta pay his tickets too.
And I don't care if y'all say that is one of those tangible physical things or whatever. Like that says a lot about you as a person. Like you out here driving with no license, like you trying to defy authority. Ain't got time for that, because that says a lot of other things about you. You're probably a narcissist. Like we ain't gonna go there. But anyways,
Antisocial personality disorder. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I could throw some therapy in there. I ain't want to sound shallow, but yeah, I don't know.
That's not shallow.
I'm judging me, not you.
If you don't have a license, you don't have a lot of stuff. Like you probably Like, you might not have a bank account if you don't have a license. They go together.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ooh.
So being a responsible adult human.
Yeah. Like, you need to have your own birth certificate, or your mom needs to have it. You need to know where your birth certificate is, because if you don't, then you probably don't have a job.
Or your social security card. That's a hard one.
Or your social security. Like, those are like, yeah, those are like, they superficial things, but they mean so many other things. Like,
It's actually not superficial. I mean, I was kind of judging myself for a minute, but like they like the fact that they're connected to something. Like it's connected to the type of life that you live, and that is not superficial. Because if you're gonna share a life with a person, and like you ain't got all the essentials for us to like build, because your mindset ain't there to have the essentials, then I don't know, fucking. I don't think I want to bend that much for you, baby. Mm-mm.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Airman said, I feel like we all have a vision of the perfect partner, but realistically, are we going to find that? Heck, we have a vision on the perfect anything. I honestly feel perfect isn't realistic. We compromise perfect all the time. That's true, because if life was perfect, like, I'd be living downtown somewhere in Chicago in like my nice loft that I pay thousands of dollars for every month, with my cute little Mercedes.
You gotta go. Come on over.
You know, we be kicking it.
But I think that's what we have to define as standards then, because it's not. Are we saying our standards are that perfecting level? Like we shouldn't lower. We can't. We have to lower from perfection. So the standard is perfection now. Because I agree, we're never going to reach perfection. For perfection isn't a real concept. It's something that somebody made up.
Facts.
But when I say I'm not lowering my standard, that means I've set a bar of something that I'm willing to deal with, that I know that I can emotionally deal with. And no, I'm not lowering that. Perfection, I'm not going to find that. I've already found it.
Like what you said earlier about the Disney stuff, though. Like, they tell you that this part and this part, but they miss all the parts in between that they don't tell you. Like, yeah, she laid there and waited till he came to save her. But like, what was going through her mind through the process? Was she doing the work? Like, was she really trying to become emotionally aware? Was she working on her finances? Like, was she working out up in the castle? Like, what was she doing while she was waiting?
And what took them so
And
long?
then how many arguments
another
that they had
somebody
while he
else?
was on his way? Did he text her? Did he put her on the block list 3 times before he got there? Like,
Yeah.
Stop by somebody else's house real quick.
Those Disney movies are old, so it was none of that. Like, realistically, it was.
Oh my god,
They're old, but they're allegorical. They tell a repetitive story that we keep seeing.
can we please post Aramis's comment? I talk about this all the time.
yeah, and I would have never married none of y'all because of that. I go take us to Dairy Queen.
We went to Dairy Queen for
and it was his fault. Let's be clear.
That's not the truth. Don't get on this white person's internet and tell that lie. It was not my fault.
Tell us, what's the truth? Tell us. Aramis, tell us who was the reason.
We was taking a lot of pictures. Y'all
It
remember my
was the hot
dramatic
boy
queen?
and the hot girl, and y'all know who the hot boy and hot girl was.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, y'all was. Yep.
No, we wasn't. Y'all took
It was Lynn's parents. It was Lynn's parents.
Lynn's.
It had to be Lynn's parents because mine was barely there.
Mine was just there for. I don't think they even had a camera. So.
Let the little boy answer the question.
He said it. He said it was y'all parents taking all those doggone pictures. But to that point, if y'all would have been potential husbands, y'all would have got put on the chopping block, because I like a man who's able to plan. I like a man who's able to be timely. I like a man who likes to take me to nice places. I do. That's on period.
So I just want to highlight, can we post Gregory Taylor's comment? I want to respond to that one. And then after this, like, yeah, I'm not computer science, so I can't be on here much longer. Hold on.
Ooh, I saw the parking police in Chicago. Flashback. Oh.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Was just I think context matters. My response to that is context matters, right? I think I am willing to hear a person out, and I'm willing to understand the context behind their life. And that's just me as a person. I don't know how much I'll bend, right? Because I do know somebody who gets so many tickets. He always got something going on. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
You know why?
Irresponsible.
Plan. You only get tickets when you're rushing and you don't plan and you're late. Or you don't pay attention to your surroundings, so you didn't park somewhere where you're not supposed to be parking. Or you wanted to defy authority and you wanted to park there anyways because they ain't gonna do nothing.
Sound too nice is what you're saying.
Okay. Characteristics in a man. Sorry. That's why you got all those tickets. No shade, just being real.
No shade of shade.
Hey, just tea.
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
Give me this.
What? Just to stop sending us married people. It's too late. We've been on here 2 hours.
I can't believe it's been 2 hours. Y'all have not eaten dinner.
Yeah, you know it's a school night.
I have to like prep for work tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a school night.
When y'all want us to come back and do this again? This was fun.
Yes, y'all comment when y'all want it. How often y'all want to see this?
Because we got conversations for days.
We do this all of the time.
Today's conversation. Do y'all want to hear us talk about? This is for the ladies.
This
Can
is
we
for
talk
the
about being in a place of not wanting to be in a relationship and being okay with that? Tomorrow.
That's
Now
tomorrow.
look, we did maybe once a week.
It's a school night. Y'all ain't gotta go to work.
I saw the toddler in here. Shoot.
We can't do tomorrow, baby.
Who said tomorrow?
Come on, Miss B.
Oh, that's Miss D. Hi, Miss D.
Hey, Miss D.
She said, "Oh my goodness, everyone just where'd she go? She deleted it."
Oh.
Oh my goodness, everyone just relax and get rid of the list. Build a relationship organically. Yes, there's a little shade throwing. I love her shade. Come on now.
There wasn't no shade. Oh, was she throwing shade?
Yeah, I think she threw a little shade. Just chill out.
Hey, just
See, I think it's important that you have a list though. It ain't gotta be like 6 1 2, like we talked about that. But like you do need to have like
You definitely do. Otherwise, you're just shooting your arrow, shooting your dart without a name.
and I think we've all tried that and it does not work. Like all meaning everybody, us four, and then everybody else on the call. Like y'all, yeah. We tried
have
that.
y'all ever made a list of what you are?
That's a good one.
You extended the conversation. That's a whole different topic.
Let's talk about it though, real quick.
No, that's think about that. Think
No,
about that.
because then I'm gonna be talking to myself all night and I'm just gonna call y'all. So we might as well just talk about it now. Unless y'all just want to call y'all.
All right, okay, real quick. What's the question again?
I said, have you ever made a list about what yourself, who you are and what you would bring to this relationship?
Can I be honest?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no, I haven't, because I don't think that I would like the cons, and I think that the cons would outweigh the pros.
Well, it's not necessarily cons. It's just like this is the type of relationship I want to cultivate, and this is how this is the attributes that I have that will help aid this be successful.
Oh, that's a different question than I thought you were trying to ask. I thought we were getting on the subject of pros and cons list, like writing down what you want.
No judgment, no, not even the pros and cons for your man. Just like, this is what I mean about standards and how we misdefine them. We have to recognize the relationship that we want, and then we have to know what attributes or what characteristics make up this person, and what we have to cultivate what we want, and what that person has, and how they can cultivate what I want too, or what we want.
Answer your question the exact same. I don't think that I can cultivate I don't think that I can even cultivate what I want.
I think I can cultivate what I want. I have not sat down and thought about what I bring to the table and all of what I can attribute to a relationship. I mean, I know I'm a great catch though. So I know that I can bring a lot. I know I'm like an amazing person. I'll be like an amazing life partner. But I haven't sat down to think about all of the ways in which I'm amazing. But I need to though. Hype myself up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't done it either, and I think that's a really great activity for men and women to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it shouldn't be one-sided. Like it needs to be all the ways that you're amazing and all the ways that you are not, because we like to say that we're these bomb people, but in all actuality, like I just think about the emotionally regulated thing. Like The reason why that guy left my house and kicked that plant is because he's emotionally regulated. But the reason why he's not emotionally regulated, but the reason why we got there is because I wasn't emotionally regulated. So if that was the case, it would have never been like that big blow up. It wouldn't have been an argument. It wouldn't have been a problem because I would have been able to regulate my emotions in a way that made things okay for him.
So then that helps us do what Ray said earlier. What am I bringing to the relationship? Like you attract who you are. So the things that, I guess we brought it up too, like what we're doing in the single season. These are things that helps us recognize so we can make standards. So then those standards become non-negotiables, and it's not, oh, he can blow a bag on me.
Right.
It's he can blow a bag on me because he saved up this allocated amount of funds in his several bank accounts that he has, and he has these funds to do this on me. Then it becomes a different story.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm sleepy. I got to get up at 5.
So maybe we should come back with a part 2 of this, because another thing is like knowing why you even want the things that you want, like making it make sense.
That's part of what I was saying earlier. Like you have to understand your why, and I agree. I think part 2 would be fun. Now that I know that we can like add people in, that's cool.
No, we can't get everybody in now. Don't get too carried away.
Everybody come.
I think
I mean, like we
like a guest host.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that offline. But yeah.
I mean, I just love the engagement. But yeah, y'all, I'm sleepy and I have not eaten dinner and I gotta be up at 6. So bye.
I'm expecting a phone call.
Ew. Says the woman who wants to be just fast out here.
And them.
And
It's 9 o'clock. I didn't eat dinner yet, so don't tell the trainer.
It's late.
Not tell the trainer. All right, it's been cute, y'all.
Ooh, my trainer told me not to drink alcohol. Here I am applying.
We got proof.
Yes, recorded.
And you all on it with your big old glass.
I'm only supposed to be drinking it on the weekend, but you know. Okay, bye.
Definitely Monday.
Bye.
Everybody.